Good evening, friends. Welcome to a small live video, if that's what you want to call it. I'm not actually going live for that long, just because it's quite late actually. Um, and yeah, so plans for the future. Well, I say plans for the future. One of my, I wanted to talk about YouTube. The secondary channel, Beantold 77, which I did a post on that page. Well, it will be out tomorrow now when I do it, because my gripes with it is I want to do things with that channel which can't. I've got videos that I'm finishing off. This is the thing. I can't be saying stuff like this if I've got a video which I'm finishing off, which I'm doing tomorrow. I'm doing a pretend and play video for that channel. I did have a toy review, but unfortunately that's not happening now. I do have other bits and pieces that I want to do. But the builder's yard is moving, like not far, but it is moving. And it's going to have a brand new look and feel. We have to sort of, it's going to be sort of 6 months. But what I've said to people is the yard's going to be sold privately because there's an imaginary company we don't want getting it. So I've said that to a lot of people. Another thing I've said to a lot of people as well is the building company is growing a lot more than Arnside Road does. So, but I made a massive boo-boo, which I'm not going to discuss here, but in time I'll discuss it in my creative thoughts when the time comes. Because I made a massive, I say I made a massive boo-boo. Is I basically thought I was losing a bit of the company, basically, and I didn't know what was fully going on. You know, um, and here's the thing: people are going, "Oh, you're a YouTuber, blah blah blah," and they're going on about benefits. But I'm just going to say to you now, I get paid sod all for doing YouTube. I've done it voluntary. I've not been got paid for any content creation whatsoever. Um, Even though I've put paid promotion on one or two videos because one of them it was for a company and the other was because when I was at Mercedes, they kindly let me do a Mercedes walk around on their property. So that was why I did that. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. Because, but that's generally why. But Beansworld 77, the problem with it is, like, car walkarounds are an arse to do because people get a bit gripey about their vehicles. Like, The Scania walk around I did, I'll just tell you this. Somebody got me sorted to do a Scania walk around. And then I found out after they wanted the video taken down. Now, luckily, I haven't taken it down because they don't know it's up there. Thank the gods they don't know it's up there, because it took me ages to get that video. Then it took me ages to get it all done, and it was quite like the actual editing and everything, but the actual doing the video. Because I walked around the vehicle before I did the video, then did it, and then I found out that I didn't want it doing. They didn't want it doing. So the problem with car walkarounds is you've got to be sneaky about doing them. You've got to be sneaky about it. If you want to do a car walk around, you've got to be sneaky about it. Um, and two of the vehicles I actually currently own, or partly own. One of them I did own. One of them I partly own. So um, I won't say which vehicles they are, but they're on the channel, both on the channel, and it's just a catalogue of vehicles. It's just a great catalogue. It's just um, I do different. When I do a vehicle walk round, I do it very differently to how other people do vehicle walk rounds. I like to tell a bit of a story about what's gone on with the car and stuff. If I know anything about the vehicle, and yeah, and hopefully I will be doing more car walk round videos and stuff. But I find that when you're a YouTuber, you get a lot of empty promises. Oh yeah, you can do a car walk round, and then it never happens. So it just, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. Um, I'm not being paid to do it. Uh, but yeah, and I think the thing is, there's the Beansworld 77 podcast, because I stopped doing McGill Radio. And here's the thing: I'm taking a year out of DJing. I'll talk about it properly in a second. Like how students do gap years. Well, I'm taking a gap year out because I want to get my supported living sorted first before I do any DJ mixes, before I get any shows sorted, before I do anything like that. So I'm doing my gap year, which is how students do, like a gap year. And once I've done my gap year, what time's it? Let's have a look at the time. Oh, hold on. Yeah. So once I've done my gap year in my DJ gap year, I'll be back. But it won't be too long, because as soon as I get into supported living, I'll get my DJ stuff out and I'll get my box of records. A lot of my personal CD collection is going, and I'm backing it up, and I'm getting a little MP3 player. I would have liked an iPod Shuffle. Sadly, my video iPod died, otherwise I'd have kept that going. Had so many awesome tunes on it. But hey ho. So I have most of the stuff on my laptop to listen to, but yeah, I've got Spotify for on the go, but when I want to actually listen to stuff and enjoy stuff. And the problems with music streaming is there's a lot of tracks that don't get put, a lot of remixes that don't get put on Spotify, and a lot of there's a lot of stuff that doesn't get put on Spotify, and a lot of artists don't get put on Spotify. I had this conversation with my stepdad the other week. That some artists are on Spotify and some aren't. So I've been doing that test myself. Um, but yeah, so where was I? Yeah, so I'm gonna literally take this gap year out, get everything sorted, support a living, get myself settled. Um, I mean, there's already people that have got half my CD collection, anyways. Um, Stuff I've recorded myself. Um, I can film me, uh, make videos of that and then put them on a hard drive because that's what Ed Sheeran's done. I am actually filming some of my recording sessions, and then when I do put them out, um, if there will be any copyright gripes in the future, um, they can definitely tell that I've wrote the song by me filming it, filming the process. I don't film everything, but I do film most of it, most of the process. Um, so yeah, um, so it's that, and yeah. But back to my YouTube channel for a second, because there is stuff that I want to do with Beans on 77. Um, so the podcast. Oh yeah, I was talking about. So I did the podcasts on there because with Mughal Radio closing, and I got a bit upset because my friend Thomas, he got to go back to the boys' club, and I thought, I wish I could go back to radio. And it's like, I'm doing podcasting soon, but it's just, um, I don't know. It's, I could do a radio show probably, but it's working with a team. Do I want to work with that? Do I want to work with a team who force me to listen to shit that I don't want to play? Um, but yeah, uh, and I don't think paint. I don't think um, like hopefully in the future, internet radio would be great, but it's just I don't know. It's all of that really, and I've said this a lot, but I am producing and uh, making music. I'm doing stuff with my imaginary band at the moment, and I've actually got a real guitarist involved because the story was I was going to go into a studio and I've been let down basically, um, because I've got no money to go into a studio. That's uh, I have, but then I haven't, um, and I don't think people would be happy if I blew my money on going to get do recording sessions. So the plan is to And I'm also going to copy this other band that do EPs every. Do an EP every year, an EP, yeah, do an EP every year. So we'll do an EP. Obviously, this EP is going to have more songs on it. I think it's going to have about 9 or 10 songs on it because um, there were songs that actually got produced. But anyway, so I was supposed to go into a studio. I think it was March or April, but I had nothing ready for them because my MIDI control board got. What happened with it? I think it got stored somewhere. Then I found it. I thought, right, I'm gonna get stuff. By the time I had stuff ready, nobody. Oh yeah, and I sort of was falling out with people slowly over trying to get rid of this electronic drum kit. That's another story. Um, so I needed a guitarist for this track that I'm doing called Party Death. So I need a guitarist, right? Um, so there's a just somebody I know uh, at the Monday group, somebody's support worker. I won't mention names here on Facebook. And I'm not for the album. Um, I'm gonna just say to them, look, I'm gonna have to keep this guitarist secret in case they want royalties. I don't know if they want to be named, whatever on the page, whatever. I don't know how it's going to work, but I've got they've literally I've WhatsApped them the recording. They're going to give me the guitar solo separate, and then I'm going to put it in the track and mix it in. But it's difficult asking, guitarists, can you play guitar? Um, the answer is usually no, but um, since I'm deadly serious on this project and well, this Party Death, I think we're recording a couple more and working on a couple more, and then that's it. Uh, we've already done one with a guy called Steve who was in a coffee shop. He had these really cool synths, and we did that. So that track's already done. There's 2 other tracks already done. Uh, there's 2 other tracks that are putting together, but then that's it. Then that's the EP done. Um, the guy I'm going to get Daniel Adler to do the cover art for it because I like his artwork. So to ask him to do a cover. Um, and then that'll be the album done and the cover art done, and then it should go on the. I'm going to actually get it pressed or anything, um, and then um, we're just doing digital release. But if this goes well, if people want it on iTunes and stuff like that, if we find there's people who want, desperate for another release, the next release we'll do a vinyl release for the next EP. I'm re-releasing the Return of the Sun God album, but that's a re-release. and that's not. But yeah, um, so I can't just go back to um, DJing when I've got that. And the thing is, I had a really long think as well because I thought, do I want to carry on with radio or do I want to go into music? Because somebody in Radio Merseyside said about, think what you want to do, you know, do radio, blah, blah, or music. And I really thought, well, I want to do this thing, I want to do this project. I'm into metal, I'm into EDM, uh, I'm into industrial. And I just thought, where can this uh, imagination and innovation and creation, where can it actually flourish? Tell me on now. Oops. So yeah. Oh. Anyway, I'm gonna roll. But um, oh, hello, Kelly. Um, I might have a project. Well, I might have a not a project for you, but um, the next time I go to a death match, a wrestling death match, Jay wants to get like an audio description thing sorted. So if there's like an audio description kit they can get hold of, it'd be great to let them know because it'd be great when, especially when they do the death matches, there's a lot more that happens. So yeah, I got the brand new Braille Note device, and it does a hell of a lot more than my Apex does. But the reason I upgraded it was because I was worried about the Apex. What would happen if the Apex died, basically? So I got this lovely machine, and it's fast too. I mean, they're advertising it as the first Braille tablet, but there is another Braille tablet out there. I've forgotten which one it is, but there is one. Not made by Humanware, but made by someone else. The only issue is the touch is you've got to sign into everything, and so many bloody updates. But it's more or less like the old Braille, not just with a touchscreen. Well, yeah, I'm gonna roll now.